just trying to do something. No! My eyeshadow just fell. Oh no. Broke. I'm sad. Well, so much for that. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Leslie if you don't know me. Today's video is a tag video. I haven't done one of these in a very long time, so I thought it would be fun. This tag is called the eyeshadow wardrobe tag. What it is not questions really, just like what palette you would use for different occasions. So I pulled out some palettes here. As you guys know, if you guys seen my makeup collection videos, I have a lot of palettes to go through. So I picked out some that I think would go with these categories, and I'm gonna let you guys know pretty much why I picked these and why I think these would be a good palette to have. By the way, if you are wondering about this look, it's going to be up on Saturday or Sunday. I'm not sure which day yet, but it'll be up one of those days. It'll just be a one with music, and I'm just kind of doing my makeup kind of thing, and I'll also probably have something on Instagram about it, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get started here. I will also link the stuff that I did use for my makeup in the description box. I usually do. If it's not updated yet, I will come back. I will update it as soon as I can, but it'll be in the description box. So getting started here, the first one is a palette for either it's your wedding or wear it as a guest kind of thing. When I think about a wedding, what I think of is like a bronzy and glowy and just effortless, kind of like a smoky eye, probably something like that. The palette that I think about is this one. This is the Natasha Denona bronze palette, and that's what this one looks like. It is very pretty. It's a very warm tone and neutrals, which I love, and I think that this is a really pretty eyeshadow palette for that. I think it would be pretty because it has like your shimmer shades, it has some warm tones, it has pretty much neutral shades, wearable shades that you can use for a wedding. It's nothing too loud. Of course, if you want to be loud, because I would probably be that person that would be loud and have colorful makeup like you guys can see right now. But this is a very nice palette. I really like the shades in this one. So that's a palette that I think I would use for a wedding or as a guest at a wedding. Next up we have date night. Now date night, it really depends on what you're doing, but if you're having, you know, romantic dinner kind of thing, you'll think of like sultry kind of shades. For me, sultry is like deep tones, like those dark burgundy shades, those dark vampy browns and stuff like that. So the palette that I have for that, it's all the way at the bottom here. I have a couple actually that I could suggest for it here because I like those shades. Actually, I'm not saying that I'm vampy or anything, but they are some of my favorite shades. So the palettes that I would probably go for like a date night would either be this one from Morphe, the Dare to Create palette, and that one looks like this, and I like these shades here, and I like the shades. You can always use like a little pop of color, and then you have these pretty like green, like dark foresty greens. I love those shades. Poopy greens, the browns. You have a lot of shades. And then also when I think of a date night, I think of these pretty shades here. This is from Melt Cosmetics. This is their Rust palette, and this one is still pretty neutral, really warm. You guys can see that. Pretty warm palette, but you still have like these pretty shades over here. Of course, you want to look, how would I say, sultry kind of thing, so you want to like smoke out your eyes and stuff like that. So I would think of something like this for a romantic dinner kind of thing. Definitely would do that. Of course, if you're just gonna go to a movie or something, then you know, it'd be a little more laid back. You wouldn't like overdo it. Of course I would, because obviously. Anyways, those would be the palettes that I think of when I think of a date night. Next up is a girls' night. It really depends. I mean, you can go different ways with that. If you want to be like pretty and a pinky kind of smoky eye or pinky eyeshadow, I would go with this one, which is fitting because it is the Ciate London I Am Woman What's Your Power palette, and it looks like this, and it is very pretty. You have a lot of plum shades, you have some really pretty pink shimmers in here, so that's why I would pick this one as a girls' night. Or I would pick this one here as well. This is the Nikki Tutorials and Beauty Bay collaboration palette, and as you guys can see, it has a lot of fun colors in here, but it also has like your pretty pinks. The shimmers are really pretty in this palette. You can do more of a neutral kind of thing if that's what you're wanting to do. You have pops of color, like I said, pink, this like shimmery pink down here. It is so pretty. Look at how reflective that is. Anyways, that's what I think of when I think of a girls' night. Of course, depending on what you guys are doing, you know, you want to look pretty and hanging out with your friends and stuff. So that's what I think of when I think of a girls' night, either of these two. Let's move on here. The next one is on vacation. On vacation, I would pick this one for sure. This is the Lin Lin palette. This is the very first one. This is what this looks like, and what I like about this one and why I say it's perfect fit for vacation is that it has your pops of color, it has your neutrals as well. You have some red shades, you have like your more neutral shades, your pops of color here, very pretty shimmers. I've used this one for bronzer and highlight as well, so that's why I like this one. If you're looking for something smaller though, you don't want to bring a big palette like this with you on a vacation, I do like this Ofra palette right here. This one has these shades in here, and it does have a bronzer, a blush, a highlight, and then these eyeshadows right here. If you're more of a neutral kind of girl and don't really want a lot of color anyway, these are perfect because these shadows are actually really nice. This mint green here, it's really pretty as a pop of color if that's what you're wanting to do on vacation. Anyways, when you're on vacation, you're not thinking of putting a lot of makeup on anyways, so this is a perfect palette for me. At least I would definitely take this on a vacation because it's just easy. It has everything that you need already in there. You don't need to carry extra bronzer or blush or highlight because all of your shades that you need are in here. This is another good one for vacation. This is the Raw Beauty Christie palette in collaboration with Pure Cosmetics. It has two sides, so it has a neutral side and it has a color side. So if you are a colorful girl like me and you like to have your options of colors, you can always take this along with you. I like that it has, like I said, both sides here. But yeah, that is a good one for vacation. Next up, we have a graduation palette. For me, on graduation, I don't even remember if I wore any makeup now that I think about it. I don't remember, but I would probably go with something pretty again, something like more on the pinky side. I would probably choose either the Huda Beauty palette, which is this one here. It has a lot of pretty shades in here, a lot of your like pinky colors, and the shimmers in here are really pretty as well. I like the little purplies in here, like this shade here and this shade here. They are very pretty. I do like them, and these shades right here too are really pretty. Something more neutral but yet you have color, and if you are wanting something more colorful, it has like this pretty teal here. The shimmers in this one right here is one of my favorite ones. It is so pretty. But yeah, or I would use the one that I talked about before, which is this one with the pretty pink shades in here and some neutral browns in there, because it's still a very pretty palette. And on your graduation, of course, you want to look pretty. You always want to look pretty, not just on your graduation. Anyways, those are the two palettes that I think would be fitting for a graduation. Now for Christmas Day, when I think of Christmas, I think more of red tones, plums, berries, that sort of thing. So I know this is a love palette and it's like Valentine's Day kind of, but a Christmas palette that I would think of would be this one, because like I said, I think of more reds and plums and those sort of colors around Christmas time. Also, I think of like foresty greens and stuff like that, so I would go with this one. This is the Smoke Sessions palette from Mel Cosmetics, and it is very pretty. The shades in here, like these deeper green, and this one is really pretty. Also, another from Mel Cosmetics that has both red and green is the Vita palette from Mel Cosmetics, and it has like this pretty green shimmer right here, and then it has some reds over here. You can always use these browns as a transition shade. This I think is a really good palette for Christmas along with this one. For me, I like my colors, so I'm not very like neutral when it comes to that, or else I would just have neutral palettes. Obviously I know, but anyways, that's what I would think of for Christmas Day. And a birthday party, the ones that I think of is this one from Jaclyn Hill, and this one is her volume 2 palette, and it looks like this just because it it's so bright and pretty, and it still has some of your neutral shades if you're wanting to still do a neutral look. But it has some pretty oranges in here, pretty pinks and purples and plums and reds. I really like this palette. I think this is something that I would wear for a birthday party or any party in like during the summer, spring, or even in the winter. Like if you wanted to wear like an orangey shade paired up with like a brown shade over here, that would still be appropriate for fall, I would think. So that's why I picked this one. I actually really like this palette for the office. The Dose of Color Friendcation palette. This is in collaboration with Desi and Katie. This is my everyday palette right here. This is from Dose of Colors, like I said. But the brown shades in here, I love these shades because they're just so easy to work with, and they're just perfect. They are really my everyday brown tones to go to, just because I can just put it in the crease real quick, put in the shimmer like this one here, just put it on the lid and be done and go to work with a little bit of mascara and I'm done. And if I do want some color in the hair, did have this blue one up here. It's like a blue purpley shade. It just broke right now. It was pretty much gone anyway because I used it so much. But that one, and then it has this pretty like dirty gold shade and this black, which you can always do more of a transition from going from day to night, which is what I like. That's why it's one of my everyday palettes. If I did want to say go out later that night, I would just put in a little bit of this and a little bit of that, or even if I wanted to do like a burgundy shade or something like that, I can do that. So this is definitely my everyday palette for me. Or I also have this one right here, which is the I Think I Love You palette from Colourpop. And it looks like this, and it has some browns in here as well and some more neutral shades, but it has very pretty shimmers in here that I really love. So I really like this palette. So office and everyday or errands, like when you're running errands, this is what I would pick. These two palettes right here would be the ones that I would pick, just because they're just easy. I can throw it on my lid, be done with it, and go and do what I need to do. Same thing, go to work, have these two and just do something simple and go to work, and I still have a really pretty put together look. So these two are the ones that I would pick for that. And then last but not least is the New Year's palette. For that, I picked the Villains Colourpop collection, the Misunderstood palette. And I chose this one because I really like the shimmers in here. They are actually pretty unique. They look like they're one color in the pan, but when you put them on your eye, they're very different. They have glitters that reflects differently. So that's why I really like this palette. And I like it has your neutral shades still to create the look, but then you can do a little pop of color with the shimmers. And that is why I like this palette. And also this blue shade is so pretty. I don't know why blue and purple and black, I always think of New Year's for some reason. More like this kind of purple, not like the bright purple, but like this kind of more toned down purpley color is what reminds me of New Year's for some reason. These are really pretty. This shade right here is really pretty as well. You can see that it is a very pretty green shade. But yeah, that would be one of my New Year's palettes. And also I would use this one because I like this palette a lot and I like the shades in here. They're really more vampy. You can definitely use this one for a Christmas palette as well, just because it has those greens and it has some reds in here. But this ones are more vampy, I think, so that's why I would think of more of New Year's, like with the shimmers and stuff. Like this shade right here is so pretty with that red, or even with the blue. These two right here are so pretty together. That is all of the questions, or not questions, but kind of occasions as to when you would use each palette. That's all I have for you guys today, and it is just a quick little tag. I'm not tagging anybody. If you want to do this video, go ahead and tag yourself, and yeah, just let me know that you're going to do it and I will go watch your video. Anyways guys, I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys like this video or want to see more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you are notified of when I upload. Don't forget to like and comment anything down below. Did you like any of these palettes? What would you use for your different occasions? Let me know. I will see you guys in my next one. Toodles!